Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the stream, peoples. Hello. Obviously, it's a little interesting as this evening is Saturday when we don't usually do things on Saturday, but the reason we're doing them today is because, well, we're taking a look at. Oh, if I can get this all to balance out on camera here. There we go. Oh, goodness. There we are. Come on. So, anyways, welcome to the stream. Hello, Zaga the Animator. Welcome. How you doing? Oh, goodness. So, anyways, what? Hey. Yeah. What's with the matter? So, anyways, sorry about that, folks. It's the channel kitty cat who's throwing a tantrum because the attention's not on him. Stop. So, but now that we have somebody in the stream, now we can unbox this thing with our Stanley pocket knife. It says Stanley on there. So, anyways, here is this. I'm actually kind of excited for this character because this was one that I missed out on back in, what was it? It wasn't Power of the Primes. It might have been, golly, was it Thrilling 30s this was the last one that they did? Spy from Team Fortress 2 would be proud. Yeah. So, but, anyways, I was excited because I never got this figure, and they did a second run of it, and then they're like, "Oh, sorry, you can't get this again." And then as soon as that happened once more, then they were like, "Oh well, maybe we need to redo it." So they decided, okay, well, why don't we show off this? However, I am very pleased because this shows us some of the other primes that they are working on. This one here, I believe, is Big Convoy. So Big Convoy here, we've got Quintus, and then right next to him, we have, Criminy. What was his name? I literally made notion of this. Amalgamus. There's Amalgamus Prime right there. And then there is Onyx Prime right there, and then Liege Maximo will be coming at some point. So, but we have all of that fun stuff. So now we can open up the box and we can pull out the Sharknado infestation that is this guy. So, anyways, that being said, if you guys do decide to comment and interact with us inside the stream, whoa, wow, he really is a true Voyager. I really did not expect that, but if you guys do decide to comment down in the video, you are going to get interacted with, so you could get a shout out at the end, and Zaga the Animator knows exactly what I'm talking about. You will get shouted out. So, let's do this. Let's do that. Let's get that unclipped. Get that undone too. Make sure all of this is undone properly. So, yeah. Alright, so there's that. And then you guys have no idea how happy I am that Wave 2 Age of the Prime stuff is finally showing up here in the United States. My buddy, Riveted Railfan, actually beat me to the punch with Wave 2 Age of the Prime stuff. He actually managed to get Heat Wave. Oh, hey, I didn't notice this. What do we have here? Model parts? What? Did Hasbro just get lazy on me? I swear that Hasbro literally just got lazy on us. Anyways. For crying out loud. Jeez. And then this too. No. This doesn't matter. Anyways. So, but anyways, let's clean all this up. And let's get into these instructions because this is different and I have no clue what's going on here. Sharknado, as in the movie from the Asylum. It's a movie website. I don't know that it's from the Asylum, but I can tell you that I have a family member who worked on the second movie. And let me put it to you this way: if you try to watch the Sharknado movies as if they are the greatest film ever on the planet, you are going to be sorely, sorely, sorely disappointed. And if you rant and rave about Sharknado being the best movie that it is, firstly, you're absolutely right. It can be the best movie. Only problem is it's the best movie if you don't take it seriously. So, but doesn't really say what to do with. Okay, so okay, we are supposed to remove those. Okay, okay. So this here shows us what we're supposed to do with this model building kit that they just got lazy and just did this anyway. So we're gonna do this. We're gonna do this live. So hey, what's up, what's up, Transformers fan? Hey, long time no see. How you doing? How you doing? So let's just pop these out. Come on. This one did not want to pop out apparently. But if you guys do want to know, this is what the molds look like when they pour the molds or they inject the molds for full of plastic. This is what they look like when they come out. So they basically just pop out these little things here. What's up, Bunny Bun Bun? 5386. How you doing? I don't know. I know this is off topic, but I ate my report cards. I am sorry you ate your report cards, man. I'm sorry you ate your report cards. I don't know why you would do such a thing, but at the same time, I bet they were delicious. So, let's start by getting some of this stuff done here. Let's see. Nope. Let's flip this around again. Great. Man, this guy's not very stable. Okay, so this one go with right here. At least that's what it says. So, let's try. Okay, so maybe it needs to go in here. So, there we go. Okay, so that needs to go here. And then this one needs to go right in here. There. Okay, so there's that. And then that closes up like so. All right. And then pretty straightforward what to do next. If I can get this, there we go. That leg needed to tab in. That would be a big reason as to why it's all top heavy. I will say this, the joints on this are very, very snug and tight. So if you guys are, hey, what's going on, King Plays? I apologize. I'm doing fantastic. What's up, Reuni as well? How you doing? How you doing? This is the Transformers Age of the Primes Sky-Byte. And this is the very first thing of Wave 2 that the very least that I've seen show up in any of my stores. So, literally, this is the first look of Wave 2 that I'm getting at this. And my buddy, Riveted Railfan, as I was in the middle of stating, he ended up getting, not Sky-Byte, but he ended up getting the, what was it? He ended up getting Heatwave, right? Was it Heatwave? I think it was Heatwave. So, alright, so now that I got that one in, that one's supposed to go here too. So I could be wrong. I could be entirely wrong. But I don't know. Oh, goodness, kitty. Hello. Nope, I need to flip him. So this one goes here. Yes, that's better. Yes. I do voice work. If anybody's interested, contact me here. So, but there is that, and then there is... Oh, come on. Oh, for frickin' A. Hasbro? Stop with the insistence of getting all of this done like so. But, on a brighter note, we got not Sharknado. Sky-Byte. I keep wanting to call this dude Sharknado because of the fact that he literally just turns into a flying shark. So, alright, well, let's give him this weapon here. So, that being said, you can't get this guy on Big Bad Toy Store. It's kind of weird. So, can I see your cat? I will show him to you in just a moment. He's cleaning himself. Hold on. Are you taking them apart or putting them together? Well, what we do is we get them into the desired mode for the review, and then when we do the review, we basically take him from vehicle mode and put him into robot mode. So this will be the final bit, but the thing is that I literally just unboxed this. This is not like I literally was like, oh yeah, we're going to just unbox this and fiddle with it. No, I unboxed this to turn this into the shark. So that way, once I put it into the shark, then we can do the review for it tomorrow, and I can schedule it for you guys later this week. So yeah. That being said, if you are interested in this review, you have to subscribe in order to do so. So that's the only catch. That's the only catch, is you got to subscribe. Unfortunately, this doesn't look like it's Blast Effects compatible, which is very annoying. So... But yeah, no. If you are interested in seeing the review for this figure, please do subscribe because this will be coming out as soon as we get this bit done here. So, but let's start by, I guess, I want to transform this dude, but I have no idea where to begin. So, not to mention this backpack is extremely, extremely annoying. I can already tell this backpack's going to get in my way. So, but from what I understand, here we go. So that goes there. This, I'm going to assume, comes inside here. Yes. 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 So... This is interesting, for sure, to say the least. Alright, so... I know this has got a... What? Oh, okay, I see. There's hinges and things I wasn't paying attention to. So that goes there. That clips in like so. And then these come back to fold over all of this. So let's just start by getting all of this stuff in this dude's... I'm gonna be real with you. I haven't done any of this. Can I see your collection of them when you get a chance? You might. I might show it to you, some of it to you guys tonight. I seriously might. There's a good chance of it. But real quickly, hey, here's the kitty for Reuni. Here's the kitty for you. This is Toast. He is the channel kitty. So he won't bite you. He's just annoying sometimes. He's just an annoying little kitty sometimes. Only sometimes, though. So, here we go. Let's pull this over. So, no, I haven't messed with this figure at all, so I know absolutely nothing about it. So, Yeah. But no, I gotta say, I was last week was or earlier or this week's been a week for a lot of people. For example, we had on Sunday, we lost Malcolm Jamal Warner. For those of you who do not know, he was one of the kids on the Cosby Show, and he was also one of he was the duo in the sitcom Malcolm and Eddie, featuring Eddie Griffith. So he passed away in Costa Rica on Sunday. Yeah, on Sunday, due to an accidental drowning in Costa Rica. So, and according to the pathologist, which, by the way, this made me laugh really hard here. It made me laugh really hard. Not as in like, oh, like death is really funny. Oh, ha ha. No, no, no. That's not what I mean. What I mean when I find it funny that I find it a little funny that he passed away because he and Eddie Griffith hated each other. They could not stand to be in the same room with each other. And yet, still somehow, they found a way to reconcile their differences. They managed to figure things out in a more friendly way, and it makes everybody kind of respect their not their partnership, but it does respect they respected themselves enough to a point when it came down to cashing the check or getting paid by all of the studios and everything of the nature, then neither one of them got skimped out on what they deserved to get paid by or paid for. So here we go. Let's pull this down here. Squeeze all of that in. There we go. There we go. So now, oh, the tail actually moves properly, to which I need to properly do that. So where's his gun? Here we go. Take note, you can clearly see the instructions sitting in front of me. I did not cheat. Some people think I cheat when I do Transformers on camera. But 9 out of 10 times. Oh, what's going on, Andre Luis? How you doing? How you do? Hello from Brazil. Also, what's going on, Corey Tucker? I apologize. It's been a quick minute. I was focused on paying attention to this, but we're pretty much done with this now. But no, it was a bit of a rough week last week for a lot of countries, a lot of nations, and a lot of fans entirely. So, and what do I mean by that? Well, Sunday, as I stated, we lost Malcolm Jamal Warner, true legend in the comedy and sitcom world. Second thing was we on the Tuesday afterwards, and it's been literally every 2 days we've had a death come by, and a legend's been taken. So this one, the other one though, however, was the second was a little bit more prominent in music in Hollywood, and that was, of course, Ozzy Osbourne, and he was truly the Prince of Darkness all the way up to the end. So I definitely got to say it's been an honor to be able to know that they were here and they were doing some good stuff. They were doing things for the world. They were making a positive impact. They weren't causing damage. Well, correction. Ozzy Osbourne might have. Hold on here. Nothing much. I recently got Silverbolt here in Australia, even though he doesn't release for a full month. That's kind of interesting because I don't know if you know this, but I actually was able to get this guy a month and a half early, thanks to Big Bad Toy Store. To which, by the way, I have nothing bad to say about Big Bad Toy Store. They will 100% earn my business every single time. I've tried Entertainment Earth. I've tried certain other figure companies. They just don't hold up to how well Big Bad Toy Store does. And the reason why I say this is because I got this when it was supposed to be... it was originally supposed to be like waiting for a month and a half. And the soonest one that was going to be there was supposedly August 15th. But unfortunately, the company I ordered from lied through their teeth so many times and changed my delivery date so many times. So, yeah. He will be released on the 31st of August. 31st of August. Yeah, take note. It's not that big of a deal to me, but in the United States, it allegedly was only going to be showing up August 15th. So next month, it would have shown up. However, what frustrated me about it was that Big Bad Toy Store, once again, take note, this guy is sold out on Big Bad Toy Store. So I did not get this guy at Big Bad Toy Store. However, I will always recommend Big Bad Toy Store because of how well they managed to get back to me on certain items I've ordered throughout the years. Like, take note, I've ordered all of my fembots through them. I've ordered all of my, or not maybe not all of them, but I've ordered some of my Decepticons from them. I've ordered, I think, one Autobot. But the point being is that they've all arrived on time, without delay, and or without any problems. And it frustrates me that people in other countries are having the issues of, well, we're not going to release it here yet. So, that's what I cannot get on board with. So, but anyways, that's cool that you're from Australia, Corey. I appreciate you telling me that. Also, once again, hello to Andre Luis from Brazil. So, yep, hello, hello. So, but anyways, that being said, like I said, we lost Ozzy Osbourne on Tuesday this week. And Thursday, we lost Hulk Hogan. And then today would be the final day in that sequence where things were starting to look, where things happened. Today would be the final day in that sequence, if there was a pattern to be pulled from this. So, yes. But on a brighter note, we have Sky-Byte in his Sharknado mold. Man, this is such a weird mold. I really did not, this is one of those figures that I did not expect to be as good as it is. But at the same time, I'm really glad it is. So, I'm glad that it is. Ah, there we go. It just did not click in. So, but this kind of reminds me more of the IDW version of Sky-Byte. But it looks like you can move his head. He has a posable head. I'm impressed by that. He has a posable head. So, but anyways, no, Sky-Byte is definitely one of those figures that I had on my list for a good minute, and I really wish that I'm gonna be real with you. This guy, I feel, definitely was one of those ones that they might have needed to wait on, but at the same time, I'm glad they didn't. So, yeah. But, anyways. So, now we'll start the Q&A session. So if you got, or more of the Q&A session. So if you've got any questions for me, if you got any comments you'd like to throw in there, let me know. And we'll continue the stream for about another 10 or so minutes. We might wait for some people to show up if that. But, like I said, my good friend Riveted Railfan / Riveted Reviews, he got a hold of the Age of the Primes Heat Wave long before I could even, before this even showed up in stores. And take note, Heat Wave did show up with this guy, but I wasn't a fan of the Legacy Bulkhead mold, and I'm still not a fan of the Legacy Bulkhead mold. So they literally just kind of that one down the toilet. So I don't really care on the sense that Heat Wave is in this now. But what I can get on board with is this character. So that being said, yeah. So, truth be told, what is y'all's favorite Transformer? I gotta ask that question. I'm definitely not genius level tier here, but I can definitely question some people on that. So that being said, I will leave this with you, or not leave you with this, but I will, I'll extend this question out to, of all the legends who passed away this week, of all of the ones who have made you sad, of all the ones who have definitely made you cry, made you be happy, made you be angry, made you be upset, make you want to, roid out, brother. You know, whatever the heck it would be. Not that, not that that actually happened. I actually have no clue if Hulk Hogan was on steroids, but I can definitely tell you that Ozzy Osbourne was on drugs for a long time. I don't know about Malcolm Jamal Warner. I choose not to go that route because it could go a little messy. But yeah. So that being said, what has been your guys's? Let's start with Ozzy. What was your guys's favorite Ozzy Osbourne moment? I gotta say, I think mine was when he got arrested because he went to a bar, got hammered drunk, and took his clothes off at the bar and walked home naked. And when reporters asked him and said, "Hey, why are you naked?" he basically said, "If I'm going to get drunk, I'm going to get wasted." So basically, if he said if he went into a bar and someone gave him a drink, he'd get wasted regardless. And there's another story here that I'm going to throw out there as well about Ozzy Osbourne. And these stories, once again, are all over the internet. They're all over the internet. You can 100% look this up. A lot of them are corroborated. Um, I think my favorite Ozzy Osbourne story that I've heard so far is when Black, like, here's how the story goes and is told by Ozzy Osbourne himself. They were recording the fourth volume of Black Sabbath, and basically Ozzy Osbourne was in a room and was sitting there just like, oh man, it's so hot in here. I'm gonna go out into the different room and I'm going to turn on the AC. So he will be, oh, yeah, but so basically Ozzy Osbourne, starts fiddling with this AC buttons. And take note, they're in Bel Air, California. A lot of and at the time, like 90% of the things that they were doing were illegal, and they would have gotten arrested, and they would have gotten charged and thrown in jail. So I can't 100% get on board with that. So, Thomas, I can't wait for Skydive and Fireflight. Okay, Skydive for me is a little bit weird of a one that I don't really care for, but Bug Bite or Fireflight is pretty cool. Not gonna lie on that one. He's pretty cool. So, but that being said, but no, I'll end it with this bit. Ozzy was so geeked out of his mind on weed and coke and all that other Colombian powdery stuff. And he basically says to all of the guys, "I'm going to go out and I'm going to go and cool off for a little bit. I'm going to go outside and cool off for a bit." Well, or not go outside. He goes to turn on the AC unit. He presses a couple of buttons and dials. And then as soon as he presses those buttons and dials, about 5 to 10 minutes later goes by, and there's sirens, and there's cops and SWAT team. They're all running up to the house in Bel Air, and Ozzy is all of a sudden just now realizing what he's pressed. He pressed the alarm. So he decides to call one of his bandmates over. He goes, "Hey, get your spoon and grab the bowl." So basically, they had this big fat bowl of cocaine in the room. Ozzy Osbourne and everybody were taking their little spoons out and just kind of taking little sniffs of it here and there. Not like it would be that big of a deal to anybody else back in that time period. But by the time they were finished with the bowl of coke, because they wanted to they didn't want to throw it away and dump it down the toilet, which honestly, if you are a suffering drug addict and you are having troubles, you can find help. There is help. You do need to go find it. I highly recommend it. You are loved. You are definitely welcome. Go get yourself clean if that is something that you are aspiring to do. I wholeheartedly recommend sobriety in some form. Me myself, on the other hand, I will not be completely sober. Not as in I will be saying like, "Oh, I'm going to go do the hardest of drugs." No. I mean, I will have a beer every so often. I will have, I'll have a shot of whiskey every so often. I'll have a margarita. So it's not like I'm gonna say it's not like I'm gonna say I'm completely sober from everything. But I will say I am sober from the hard stuff that I could be on if I really wanted to. So in my definition, I am sober, but I'm not, or I'm sober, but I'm not sober to a point where I would invite drug addicts to hang out with me. So, yeah. But, anyways, that being said, um, this video is not sponsored by any of those helplines or rehabs. You can find sobriety on your own. I highly recommend it. It can be good for you. It can be good for you. And I can definitely say that it is not a terrible thing. So, oh, also, Thomas, how many of the 13... I'm going to be real with you. These are the only 13 I have. In fact, these are the only ones I have. I have Megatronus, I have Solus right here, and I got Prima. I gotta wait another couple weeks. I think I might have to wait till next week in order to find Alchemist Prime. And then after that one, I gotta go find Onyx Prime, which I think I actually might have a good lead on him. So I might have to go deal with some of that at some point. So, yeah. But I have seen the announcements for all of the 13 that were announced at the San Diego Comic-Con panel. So that I am very much aware of. That being said, if you guys did not see the community post that I posted about all of that stuff, definitely go check it out below. Or down at the channel below. And I will update that to reflect it. So I just didn't put the channel in the description right at this current moment because, well, I didn't have time. So, but anyways, more onto the point. So my good buddy, Riveted Railfan, once again, the really good dude that he is, apparently, I don't know if this is true or not, but apparently, all of the Prime weapons, so you have Megatronus's cannon, and you have his staff, and you've got his machete, and all of that stuff hanging on here. You've got Solus Prime and her hammer. You've got Prima's Star Saber right there. You've got that. And I know and from what I understand, is that all of the weapons are to combine into this gigantic thing. The funny thing, there's technically 14 primes because of Rodimus Prime. Well, yes, but no. I mean, Rodimus Prime is technically the last of the primes. And he is a descendant of Optimus Prime, and Optimus Prime is a descendant of Alpha Trion. So I can't really say that's bad. Oh, what's up, Donna Thompson? How you doing? How you doing? I'll wave back at you. So, but yeah, no, it's one of those things where it's like the canonology of certain things is definitely a little weird, but I definitely know this is based off of the IDW mold. This is based off of the aligned continuity mold from Transformers Prime. From Transformers Prime. This one is based off of the G1 cartoon, with several creative liberties taken. So that one I can get. I don't really hate. Not to mention, we also know that Alchemist Prime is an original mold, and I'm actually kind of sad about that. Oh, you love Transformers, Donna? Well, I'm gonna be real with you. Oh wait, hold on. But he's not part of the original 13. No, he's not part of the original 13. So yeah, you are correct. He is not part of the original 13, but technically he is. So he is, but he isn't. He's the last carrier, at least in the American continuity, to carry the Matrix of Leadership. In the Japanese continuity, to my knowledge, Star Saber was the last one to carry the Matrix of Leadership. I don't 100% know if that's accurate or not, but I do believe that is the case. And so seriously, I do not know 100% if that is the case, but from all of the research that I've done throughout the years, that is what has come up to me. But once again, I could be wrong. So, yeah. Anyways, that being said, real quickly, drop your favorite Transformer down in the comments below, and we'll definitely go through those as we go. I gotta say right now, my favorite Transformer is actually gonna be a really funny one for y'all. I recently got on clearance the hold on here until Optimus was brought back to life. Yeah, that's true. You're absolutely right on that one, Corey Tucker. But he's not part of the original 13. I agree, but also don't agree. I mean, there's a lot of things that the American timeline kind of screwed up. I mean, obviously Optimus's death was one of them, but at the same time, you know, they could have easily worked Rodimus's story into being a better one. Oh yeah, Devastator, that's a good one too. I can't complain about that. I had a knockoff of the Studio Series Revenge of the Fallen Devastator, but because he's going to be getting a re-release here soon, I figured I might as well see if I can just go get the re-release of the official. So there's that. But no, my favorite one is actually the my favorite one currently is the Studio Series Dark of the Moon Mega or not Megatron, Dark of the Moon Shockwave. I managed to get him on clearance for $30, $35, something like that. But no, he was one of those weird ones. I literally walked into Walmart, the dude set him down on the shelf. I watched him set it down and walk away. I grabbed it and I left. I grabbed it, paid for it, and left. So, yeah. I have a knockoff of the Combiner Wars Devastator. I'm gonna be real with you. Hasbro, I feel they were smoking crack or doing cocaine or they were completely high on LSD. Something completely terrible. Hey, what's going on, Zaga? How you doing? Welcome back. But I can tell you right now, that long haul and that hook, along with what other one was it? It was long haul. There was hook. Oh, and that scrapper. They can seriously just. I did not have a very good time with that one. I had a knockoff of the Transformer Studios Series 18 Bumblebee. Sadly, it was oversized. Well, I'm going to tell you right now, the new Bumblebee mold is actually really good. I'm actually going to be real honest with you. That was a refresh of a figure, and by the way, Emgo, you're wrong. You are 100% wrong on that. On in your video where you reviewed the what was it? That Bumblebee. You are 100% wrong. That figure desperately needed a new mold. This is why I say MGO 316, you're wrong, at least on that one, because that figure was so bad. The Studio Series 18 Bumblebee was so bad that 90% of those figures broke within a week because of how terribly engineered it was. The new mold is beautifully done. It's perfect in almost every sense, to a point where I was really shocked that this was not what they came up with first. Oh, you got Sky-Byte as well? That's cool. Do you have the Thrilling 30s one, or do you have the, what was it? Or do you have the Age of the Primes version? Not that that matters, but just saying, just asking, you know. Do you have the Age of the Primes version? I don't know if that's how you say the name. You're right. It's Sky-Byte. It's Sky-Byte. So it's Sky-Byte. That is his name. So you are not mispronouncing his name in the slightest. So yeah. But I can totally hear David K's voice coming out of this because that's exactly who voiced him. At least in the American series. I don't know who voiced him in the Japanese series entirely, but I do know in the American series that David K. Oh, you got the Age of the Primes one? May I ask a slight side question? Did you buy it on Big Bad Toy Store, or did you find it out in the wild? Because I found this one out in the wild, but I do know that it's currently sold out in several stores. So nobody's really got a chance to get it, except, you know, unless you're MGO or freaking Few, Optibotimus. I'm not going to mention one specific creator because I don't really care. I got mine at Walmart too. They had just put him down like 2 days ago. And the only reason why I say I know it was 2 days ago is because I was there 2 days ago. So... But anyways, I am excited for this Transformer here. That being said, what is... Oh, goodness. What is the place that you guys would normally go to buy Transformers, like, regularly? Yeah, no, I'm not mentioning him. In fact, I'm going to redact that name specifically because I don't like. I don't. He does not need to be there. Yeah. However, I will mention Kid Station. Kid Station's pretty good. Also, Beer Formers, he's pretty good too. Let's also throw in there. Jeez. New York Toy Hunter, also The Good, the Bad, the Awesome, pretty good. JB Hi-Fi, that's pretty cool. Walmart, all that, that's pretty cool. Um, let's see here. So my favorite place to go is actually a comic book store here in the state of Utah. There's actually 2 to 3 of them that I quite like. Sadly, most stuff in Kid Station is overpriced as hell. So yeah, I mean, take note. There's a couple things that I would not buy in certain stores ever. The first one would be in America, we have this store called FYE. It's basically a play on words. It's called For Your Entertainment. And they carry lots of Japanese stuff. They carry lots of clothes. They carry lots of snacks. They carry lots of sodas. They carry lots of things there in like that they get from Japan. What I cannot get on board with is what they charge you for all of that stuff. Okay? And this was before all of the stupid presidential tariffs came into play. Okay? This was before all of the garbage went down. They tried to charge me $64.99 for a Voyager class Rise of the Beasts Optimus Prime. The re-release. So, yeah, not to mention they were asking $50 for Bone Crusher, for Studio Series Bone Crusher. I've heard of that place. I would not recommend going there. Unless you're going there to buy snacks or comic books or records, I don't recommend you buy anything from FYE. So yeah, that being said, Zaga or not Zaga the animator. Well, hey Thomas, I'm gonna go play some Border. Oh, dude, I love Borderlands 2. I love that game, dude. Oh my gosh, that was the very first Borderlands game I ever played. I cannot wait for the fourth game. The fourth game I'm excited for because apparently it's supposed to be having a new one. Hold on here. Should I get Hot Wheels Optimus Prime or Hot Wheels F-Case Optimus Prime? I wouldn't recommend it. I genuinely would not recommend buying that die-cast little Hot Wheel. I would not really recommend buying it. What I can recommend, though, is if you are able to, hold on, who is the character you play as? I play as Zero, but I've played as all the characters. So, but no, but yeah, no, Zero is my favorite character in Borderlands 2. And I was so happy he made an appearance in Borderlands 3 as he was a main mission that you had to go and, like, do. So, but no, Zero is a good one. If you play Borderlands 3, I'm going to highly suggest that you play either as Flack or play as Zane. So, but no, if you play as Zane, Zane is pretty much Deadpool with an Irish accent. And Flack can control pretty much any of the animals in the game. That's his like special ability power kind of deal. So, but yeah, no, I love Borderlands 2. That game and that storyline, oh my gosh. Like I cannot complain about a perfect game. That game was seriously as close to perfection from Gearbox. So, I can 100% vouch for Borderlands 2. Borderlands 1, though, that was pretty bad. The first game was horrendous. Take note, the story is not what the problem was. It was everything else in the game. Okay? Take note. You're supposed to you're supposed to kill you're supposed to kill monsters, slay animals, and collect money along the way, along with getting guns. How you're supposed to get more of them is how you're supposed to basically defeat or beat the game, the main game, is you're supposed to go and defeat this what was it? It was a vault. Was it a vault dweller? I think it was vault dwellers. But the vault dwellers basically are the guardians of the vault. They're the monster of the vault. You have to pay attention to it. You've got to kill them, the whole deal. And there was only one in the game of Borderlands 1. There was also one, maybe two, in Borderlands 2. In Borderlands 3, there's like 6. So I can't complain about that. If I was to throw in another thing too, Tiny Tina's Wonderland was pretty good too, but it was not really the greatest of great, but it was pretty good. The pre-sequel, however, that one should have been Borderlands 1. I'm not gonna lie. That should have been Borderlands 1, 100% down, balls to the wall, should have been there. Should have been number 1. So, but yeah, no, I love Zero. He's a good character. Also, the Gunzerker is pretty good too. So, yeah. That being said, what is your guys' favorite video game to play? Let me know down in the comments below, and we will go through them. But aside from Corey Tucker, Borderlands 2 is like one of my ultimate favorite games. I think I'm on my 3rd playthrough of it right now. So yeah, it's a wonderful game. That game made and broke friendships. Also, did you have a favorite Easter egg in Borderlands 2? Mine was the TMNT Easter egg. Mine was actually, it wasn't that one. Mine actually was the cancer dude. In Five Nights at Freddy's. I'm sorry you play Five Nights at Freddy's. I'm sorry you play that game. But at the same time, hey, people play video games for fun. So, actually, but hey, people play Fortnite. I can't condone playing Fortnite. I just can't. Me personally, you will never catch me playing Fortnite because I just don't care for it. But at the same time, if you're talking about the original Five Nights at Freddy's, I can get on board with that. If it's the later versions, I'm on those ones. But no, there was to go back to Corey Tucker's question here. My favorite Easter egg was actually there was a guy who instead of going to Make-A-Wish, went to Gearbox Studios, and he said, "Hey, look, this is my final wish. I'm literally gonna die in like 2 to 3 weeks, maybe. So if you could just make me a character in Borderlands and maybe record a few of my voices for it, and just so I can at the very least live on forever in some way, I would appreciate that." And Gearbox managed to get his contact information. They got his contact information. They basically went to his place. They recorded some lines for him, and they made him a character in the game. Not a character you can play as or that you can destroy, but a character that is indestructible, and the character kind of is a little bit more important to Claptrap. It's a little funny, but That being said, Claptrap is literally robot diarrhea. I can't explain it even better. The dude never shuts up. He just never shuts up. So yeah. Oh yeah, he can appear in 12 different places. Yeah, that guy. I knew he was. I managed to run into him once or twice, but I never actually managed to go find him in all the places. So, but yeah, no, that was one of the cool things about Gearbox Studios. So, also, it was kind of cool that they did something kind of similar for Halo. There was a kid who was dying of cancer or some disease that would have killed, like could have killed him as quickly as possible, and they basically sent him in. They basically sent Steve Downs to go say hello to him, and he said, "You are one of the toughest Spartans I've ever met," kind of deal. And by the way, I've met Steve Downs. The dude is literally the definition of a true gentleman nerd. Okay. The reason why I say he's the definition of a true gentleman nerd is because When I first met him, I was standing in line for like 3.5 hours to get his signature on a Master Chief helmet, no less. The guy who it was supposed to be running the photo ops and everything of the nature just left. He just left. He didn't say anything, didn't do anything. He was basically like, "Oh, come here," and just left. Well, Steve Downs was left without somebody to take pictures for him. And in line, I'm standing there, I'm standing there. Take note, I'm dressed as Men in Black. I have on a three-piece suit. I've got sunglasses on. I've got a homemade neuralizer. I've got a homemade alien weapon, the whole deal. Okay? Now, I'm standing with my back to Steve Downs. He puts his hand on my shoulder. I look over my shoulder. I'm like, "Oh, hello. Hello, Mr. Downs. How you doing?" And he literally says to me, he goes, "You know, these idiots who run this place, they're never here when I need them. Would you mind doing us a huge favor and taking a picture for us?" Dude, my jaw hit the floor when I found out Master Chief needed my help. Um, You have three Decepticons. Okay, that's not how you spell Decepticon, but it's pretty close. That's nice. I've got a few. So, but anyways, excuse me. So, anyways, that being said, I will go give you guys a quick tour of some of the studio, or at the very least, my bedroom. Here's Kitty. We love our animals here. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. We love our animals here. Uh-huh. Yes, buddy. Here we go. So, yes, he loafing. That's why his name is Toast. Because he looks like a little loaf of toast. So, but now that we have done so, we can go take a quick peek into what's going on in the collection room. And take note, this is my bedroom, so it is a little messy and a little out of everything, not, well, maybe not out of commission, but it is a little messy and it's a little much. So we're gonna start up here. I have every single one of the G1 Dinobots. So I've got or maybe not G1, but the Studio Series 86 Dinobots. I've got every single one of those ones. This is my Halo cabinet. This is all the stuff that I've collected like with memorabilia in regards to Halo. That is the Master Chief signature right there. That is Steve Downs. So I do have Steve Downs' signature. And I don't know if it's visible on the back here, but somewhere around here, right behind my copy of Halo 3, or not Halo 3, Halo 4, Cortana signed the back of that. So I have both Master Chief and Cortana's signatures on there. So, yeah. Second cabinet down, we have a lot of 86 Autobots and a lot of other Autobots here too. So I like that Grimlock. That's a nice one. Yeah, he actually is getting a re-release this next month. So either next month or the month after, you be on the lookout for that Grimlock re-release. So yeah, just be on the lookout for that. So starting here, we've got a lot of these things, and not to mention Commander Class Rodimus Prime. So do be aware, I do have. So yeah, but yeah, no, Dead Prowl, Dead Ratchet, Dead Ironhide, and there's Dead Brawn. So, but yep, there's all of them. So all of that one, and this is my Decepticon cabinet, or at least my G1 Decepticon cabinet and Studio Series 86 Decepticon cabinet. So we have all of the Legacy Insecticons here. We've got all of the current Constructicons in there. We've also got, that's 86 Galvatron, Scourge, and that's Kingdom Cyclonus as well back there. That being said, if you guys did not hear, I will be getting rid of my Starscream and my Blitzwing later this year because they are getting a re-release and or a redo in Studio Series 86, and Starscream especially is getting a re-release because they are redoing that Thundercracker mold, so please be on the lookout for that as well. Now this one is the more sparse cabinet. I bet you can't tell what this side's dedicated to, and I bet you can't tell what this side's dedicated to. So, not to mention, oh, I forgot to grab this guy. He belongs on the table too. Oh, hi, kitty. And kitty cat was not happy. He's not happy I keep moving places. But no, this guy belongs on the table. I forgot to grab him. So there is that, and yeah. I have what? Yes, buddy, I love you. So, but there is all of that. I have one side's dedicated to animated, one side's dedicated to Cybertron, and in the middle is where we have Age of the Primes. So now here's where we come to the more disastrous part of this. What? Stop. So, anyways, let's bring it down here. We have Ectotron from Afterlife over there. We've got Lego B. We've got Lego Prime. We've got the Sonic and Wingtail 2-pack. We've got the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle pack there. RID/Armada and animated side. Nope, I don't have an RID/animated side at all. I just have animated and Cybertron. So, yeah. But we've got all of this going on here, and I do keep all of the crossover boxes here. So yeah, don't be surprised about all of that. Oh, here, this is the Mangler from Halo Infinite. Yeah, Halo Infinite, and that right back here, I can actually pull this out. That, my friends, is signed by the Arbiter. So there's that. So we have all of this, and then let me just show some of this off to you just right at the moment. But got a little bit of a dirty room here, so I'm just trying to make sure I can clean some things up. But this is my VHS and DVD cabinet, which does rotate, and the majority of them are Thomas the Tank Engine. Don't be surprised when you hear that. So yeah, so I did collect Pokemon cards for a short time. I don't care though. But this is more where we shall start with this shelf. So I do have Studio Series 32 Prime, and I do have the Studio Series Jetfire. This is actually the Revenge of the Fallen. What was it? The Revenge of the Fallen 3-pack? Yeah, it came with Prime, Jetfire, and the RC triplets. So we've got Revenge of the Fallen there. We've got Bumblebee movie Megatron here, just looking badass as hell. And then here's my current favorite Transformer that I've just been like gawking over for a good minute. And sitting next to him is quite possibly the baddest of bad, and I will never get the Studio Series version because this thing is better in every way. Now that we've seen that, next cabinet. But firstly, I also did cosplay for a short time as well. So this is a Mon's mask from Legend of Korra, and I do have a costume design for it. So starting with this one, we've got a lot of weirdness. So yeah, let's start with this. We got Dark of the Moon Prime, Age of Extinction Galvatron. We got Revenge of the Fallen Sideways. We've got Soundwave. We've got Scourge. We've got Bumblebee movie Shockwave. We've got, dude, can Bumblebee Studio Series Megatron's arm connect to Studio Series 38 Optimus's arm? No. No, it cannot. So, and I know we're going with that because the only reason I know where you're going with that is because I also have that comic book right here. I know exactly where you're going. I have that comic book. So yeah. But no, we've got lots of good stuff in this here too. So yeah. No, I'm not gonna lie. The comic is epic. I've only got the compendium that's got the first 5 issues, so I really need to catch up on the comic books. But I know that it does. I know that the story does get pretty intense. So, but yeah, I've got all the cassettes for Soundwave, and I do believe Ravage. Oh, there's Ravage right there. I have Ravage. I've got Rumble and Frenzy. So, and then here's the Mega Block Psycho from Borderlands. So, this is Freezer. He actually turns into a weapon for that guy. And that is a third-party upgrade kit on him as well. So, I have almost all of the Bumblebee movie Seekers. I'm just missing one, which is Thundercracker. So, there's that. I've got 2 of the Rise of the Beasts. What is it? Didn't Starscream kill a human? Yes, he did. But I don't want to spoil too much for the people who have not read it. So let's do a huge favor to those people who have not read it, and let's keep it spoiler free for now. So, but we also have Shatter. We've also got Bumblebee Movie Dropkick, and if we swing it back down to here, we now come to the Studio Series Autobots shelf. That being said, I am so angry at Hasbro for this. And the reason I'm angry at Hasbro for this is because now that they're making a Titan class version of this dude, that makes this one nearly worthless. Yeah, not happy. But way in the back there, we've got Age of Extinction Hound. Hey, what's up, Donna Thompson? Once again, I know. And the little one with the 4 arms. That one, his name is Freezer. He has another one. He has a remold that is Novocaine. So, yeah. But I got the Age of Extinction Studio Series Prime. That one I got. You could have gotten that one on clearance, I think. I'm not 100% certain. Dark of the Moon Ratchet, or no, that's not Dark of the Moon Ratchet. That's Age of Extinction Ratchet, excuse me. And then we have the Last Night Hot Rod. That is the official Hot Rod. And on this one here, we've got the Bumblebee movie Bumblebees. So like I said, to MGO 316, if you're listening to this, you are 100% wrong about this figure. This figure was a necessary redo because of how bad the first one was. Let me be very clear about that. So, anyways, no, then we got Studio Series Age of Extinction Grimlock. That's the first release of Grimlock. So there's that. And then I've got the Universal Studios exclusive, what is it? Evac? Yeah, Evac right over there. So I got the Universal Studios exclusive Evac. I got Studio Series Topspin. I got Studio Series Roadbuster. That is a knockoff of the Dark of the Moon Deluxe Class Leadfoot. Because that was the one that I appreciated the most and had more to do with. Then we have Studio Series Jolt, Dino. There's the RC triplets. And personally, my favorite character from Rise of the Beasts, Mirage. I can't say enough good things about that. Hasbro Studio Series Evac. When? Never. It's a Universal Studios exclusive. You will never get this guy in Studio Series. I'm just throwing that out there right now, not to be mean or cruel, but this is a Universal Studios exclusives, which means you have to go to California. I have the little pink and red one. I think it was Venera. This one? No, it's RC. That's one version of RC. So I'm probably completely wrong about that. She turned into a motorcycle. Yeah, she turns into a motorcycle. You're right. She does turn into a motorcycle. But that's actually Rise of the Beasts RC. So you're good. No worries on that one. But now that we are coming into Rise of the Beast stuff, though, we've got Wheeljack, we've got Rhinox, we've got Air Razor, 07 Deluxe Jazz there from Studio Series. We've also got Ape Link, we got Primal back there, we got Prime, we got Bumblebee, Mirage, freaking RC going on there. And then the shortest of the list so far is actually these guys. So I do have Studio Series Transformers 1 Prime, Megs, B, or Badassatron, and Sentinel Prime. So yeah. But no, that's it. That's pretty much the whole deal with that one. And then this is some other stuff that I've had floating around here. That does not need to be shown on camera. But anyways, I do have, this is the brand new version of the Flying Scotsman, and that's the brand new, well, maybe not brand new, but it is the Thomas Wooden Railway version of Gordon in 2022, I think? I don't remember if it was 2022 or 2023, but we do have some boxes down here. We've got pretty much all of this. I have my roll of duct tape for all of those chomos who need some wood chippers. And then we've got some Mega Block stuff over here. I've got the Pokemon Center, and I've got Charizard. So all that. Yeah, I paid $35 for Shockwave. So yeah. So I probably didn't spell it right then again. Spell it right again. It's okay. Don't worry about it. I am Megatron, leader of the Decepticons. No, you're good. You got that right. Little Bumblebee. Yeah, that Acetron kind of funny, but no, the little Bumblebee back here was actually a Christmas gift that I didn't know what to do with, so I just put it there. It's okay. Don't worry. Not everybody knows the names of everything. It's fine. It's fine. I'm not. Nobody's upset at you, dude. No one's upset at you in the slightest. To which, that being said, we are going to go back to the table now. So let's do so. All right. Let's get back to the table here. So, oh, I have that Metal Fig Bumblebee, and I have Optimus Prime. Yeah, I had Optimus Prime, but I didn't need him. Somebody was like, ooh, can I have that? I'm like, whatever. I don't care. So, but anyways, that's pretty much it for the bedroom. At least my bedroom. And I'm praying that the next Transformer I can get a hold of is going to be Alchemist Prime, because I gotta say, that that figure, take note, it's not one of the greatest figures I've seen, but it is a figure that I definitely want because I know it's going to complete all of the primes. So I'm actually more excited for what this could possibly mean for the Transformers, Transformers fandom. Excuse me. And the reason why I say this is because I have a feeling that they are going to do a re-release of Starsaber for the Age of the Primes again. Question: do you know when you're going to do another stream? I don't want to miss it. I don't know. I genuinely don't know, but we usually try to do about one stream and one video a week. So this week, or not this week, this is stream number 2 for this week, because this week is kind of interesting. But that being said, if you don't want to miss them, the best way I can actually tell you and recommend to you to do that is actually to subscribe. And also, don't forget to hit that notification bell. There is a little bell in the icon, in the little taskbar that you can do on YouTube, and you will be notified anytime I post a video and or anytime that I post a live stream. So that is the best way that I can honestly suggest you to do it, because other than that, there's not really a ton of other places I can tell you I go. So, but yeah. Anyways, so back to Alchemist Prime. I'm quite pleased that they have Alchemist Prime showing up, because he's the bartender of all the primes. So you can picture, like, I don't know if you can picture this. Good, because I am subscribed. Hey, thanks for subbing. I appreciate it. It is, and by the way, that being said, we are so close to 2,000 subscribers. I can almost taste it. But we're so close to we're so close to 2,000 subscribers. I think we need maybe like 300 left to go after we get done with the 600 levels, something like that. But after we're done there, then we can get on to the 2,000 range, and I'm gonna be so excited when that becomes a thing. So, anyways, let's continue. Alchemist Prime. The reason why I say I like him is because he's the bartender Prime, and the bartender Prime, I could totally picture him serving drinks to Optimus Prime and all of his buddies at the end of a good fight, and saying something along the lines of like, huh. So an Autobot walks into a bar, and the bartender says, "Why the large scar?" So, yeah. So, anyways, I gotta say, there is one more thing there's one thing I am gonna miss about the Transformers franchise, and particularly the live-action franchise. And to which, again, I don't know if the next one that they do is going to be a live-action franchise. I hope it is, but I don't know. Michael Bay's at the helm, so there's a good chance that Mark Wahlberg might make a return. Or Shia LaBeouf, either one. But the thing that I like about that is that I miss the Linkin Park songs that went with the movies. And for some people who are going to say, well, what do you mean? Well, in 2007, Linkin Park they basically got paid for one of their songs to be pulled from the album and used as the end credits theme song and or just the theme song for the first movie. What was that song? The song was called What I've Done. That was the very first Linkin Park song that got picked up by Hollywood for a movie like that. At least to my knowledge. I could be completely wrong, but I do not know. Actually, no. I think it might have been Saw. Saw might have picked them up first. But anyways, point being is that they took What I've Done, put it into Transformers, now it's synonymous for that. The second one, they actually wrote a song, and it was designed and only for Transformers 2. And that song is called New Divide. And if you guys don't know the lyrics to either one of them, the first one would be, for What I've Done, is the chorus goes, I'm forgiving what I've done. I'll face myself and cross out what I've become. Erase myself and let go of what I've done. Yeah, so that's the first one. The second one is called New Divide. So the chorus goes, so give me reason to prove me wrong, to wash this memory clean, and let the floods cross the distance in your eyes, across this new divide. Yeah, Linkin Park was mentioned, Zaga the Animator. You are correct on that front. So that was the second one that they did for Transformers 2. The third one that they did was on their album, I want to say it was Living Things. That one was Evanescence, which was, do you feel caught and lost in desperation? That black one with the fire on it looks cool. Yeah, this is actually the predecessor to Megatron, if you can't tell. But no, this is the predecessor to Megatron. This is Megatronus Prime, Vector Prime, Prima Prime, and Solus Prime. So yeah. But that was the third one, which was Evanescence, and they did not get picked back up for the fourth movie, because the fourth movie, they picked up Imagine Dragons. So yeah. They picked up Imagine Dragons, and Imagine Dragons gave us... I can't remember what it was. I can't remember what the song was. I know the chorus, but I think it's Nobody Can Save You Now, or something like that. I can't remember what it was, but there was that, and then okay. Transformers The Last Night was such a trip that I don't even remember who wrote the credits, who wrote the credit song, who sung the credit song, who did anything with the credit song. I don't know any of that. Thomas's new profile pic reminds me of James Farr's Transformers. Yeah, believe it or not, I actually did steal one of his images. I did use Optimus Prime for a good minute as my YouTube avatar. But the difference with that is that it was not an original character owned or licensed by me. So I couldn't really do anything about it. And take note, I saw something on the internet where some guy had taken the Railway series face of the Flying Scotsman and slapped it on the CGI Scotsman, which again, not that big of a deal. I used that for a good while. Prior to that, I used the prototype for the Thomas Wooden Railway Stepney for my my icon, and then after that I was like, okay, Chat GPT, what can you make me? What can you make me that's gonna look good and not be completely, ripped from somebody else? So, I recently watched the Transformers movie. Optimus Prime dying was sad. Okay, so you watched what? Well, hold on here. Which one did you watch? That one, we need to clarify that. Which one did you watch? Did you watch the original cartoon, or did you watch Revenge of the Fallen? Because the 1986 movie, I can't complain about that movie in the slightest. The original is the best. I'm going to be honest with you. Now, the reason why I call the original the best is because that was the day that everybody's childhood innocence just died. And why do I say that? Well, because everybody blames Hot Rod for Optimus Prime's death. I don't blame Optimus Prime for his. I don't blame Rodimus or Hot Rod or Rodimus Prime for his death. I don't blame his death on any of that. Optimus Prime could have easily taken the shot and killed Megatron right there in front of everybody, and instead chose to sit there and completely ignore 3/4 of what was being done. Okay? He decided to give him that. He decided to give him a speech. He decided to give him all of that. And I'm just sitting here like, really? Random kids in theaters in the 80s watching Transformers the movie and getting PTSD from the characters freaking dying brutally. That is so true. That is so true. Now, take note. I was raised on the 80s cartoon. My parents are Gen X. Both of my parents were Gen X. So they showed me all of their cool stuff that when they were growing up, like He-Man, Thundercats, G.I. Joe, all of those. It was quite fun. Oh, hi, kitty. You coming back in? So, but basically, my favorite part about that movie is the fact that everybody went in there with complete different expectations and were like extremely stunned by the end of the movie and not sure what to do. That was my favorite part of the movie. Or maybe not my favorite part of the movie. That was my favorite thing to hear about the experience of going to go see that movie. Transformers the movie could have been so much faster. I agree. The movie was crazy. There's a lot of things going on at once, I think, but I think it was definitely the best one. I agree, and take note. Also, do not forget to hit that like button and subscribe if you agree as well, because literally we praise the G1 movie on this channel. The reason why we praise the G1 movie on this channel is because that movie was quite possibly the biggest, destruction of childhood innocence right there. Like, the day that those kids walked out of that theater and came out teenagers and were like, I need food immediately. That was pretty much how it went. So, I can't complain about that part of it. What I can complain about is the fact that they killed off like a third of the characters. And take note, I know why they did, and that was because they were trying to make a way for new toys to come in so they could market them better so that way we could do that. I remember seeing Optimus's death crying while my dad was questioning why. I'm not going to lie, but my first reaction was when I was 6 years old, okay? Take note, I had been watching Transformers, like the cartoon, from the time I was like 4 or 5 years old till the first movie came out. Then I started getting into the shows. But my dad made sure that anytime we'd watch a movie, we would either read the book it was based off of first, we would watch the TV show that it was based off of, if it had a TV show, we would watch the original stuff of the TV show if it had a TV show, or read the original stuff if it had a book. We basically made sure that we would do all of our homework before we went to the movies. Now take note, this was also back when Blockbuster, Hollywood Video, all of those places, basically all of those places, you know, they weren't going out of business yet, but what was it? Their death was on the horizon. We'll leave it at that. So take note, I watched the first movie in 2006. What are you doing? No. What? So I also think Optimus Prime died a little too early in the movie. I do and don't. What? What does you matter, kitty? What's the matter? What's the matter, buddy? What? Sorry, he whines because he thinks he's not getting attention from me. So, but no, we love the animals here on the channel. So he just needs to stop playing with weird, random, inanimate objects. Hey, stop! No, stop. So, but anyways, so that's the whole gist with that, was that the movie set new precedents for childhood movies. Okay? Because I'm going to be real with you. In the 80s, and by the way, this has been on camera, like with certain celebrities, certain teenagers, the whole deal. They went to the theater and basically watched their childhood hero die. And when they watch their childhood hero die, there's a lot of things that die with it, like childhood innocence. And me personally, I live for the death of childhood innocence. Not in a sexual way. We don't go that way. We don't talk about that on this channel. We don't go that far. We do not. But the reason why I like the death of childhood innocence in the form of a movie like Transformers 1986 or the 1986 film is because it gave them something different to expect. Because take note, nowadays when you go to the theater and you see, like, maybe not Optimus Prime, but you see your main character die, I can almost guarantee you that was brought from the Westerns and the 1986 Transformers movie. Okay? Because the main character dying at the end of the film was always the way that some things ended, or the hero pulled through at the last minute, or, hey, stop it. So, but basically, it gave them something different to expect. And when it gives you something different to expect, it's a movie like M. Night Shyamalan. What a twist! I have the Optimus. You just turned the whole camera towards. You have the Commander Class version. This is the Commander Class version of Optimus Prime, the Studio Series 86 version. So, I gotta say though, it's not a bad first Transformer. Just one quick question about it: did you break it first? Did you break it when you first got it? Because I almost broke it when I first got it. So, yeah. But, like I said, it gave you something different to expect, and it definitely made the kids grow up a little bit to a point where they were like, okay, well, not everybody lives forever. That's what I like, okay? Is that when people finally understand not everything lasts forever. Oh, I didn't realize it was that one. I was thinking about trying to get that one, though. It's the other one. Okay, my next question is going to determine whether or not I know the answer to the next part of it. Did it come with a trailer? Because if it came with a trailer, then I know you have the Earthrise version. If it didn't come with a trailer, I know you have the Studio Series Devastation Prime. So, okay, you have the Devastation Prime. I'm not gonna lie, you have. I'm gonna be real with you. That figure, to which, by the way, if none of you guys have that figure, hold on here. I didn't realize that's that one. No, I just have the one that looks cartoony with the yellow. Yeah, I'm getting to it. But you have the Studio Series Devastation Prime, which I have to say is a very good Studio Series, like a stand-in. A Studio Series 86 stand-in. It is a very, very good figure for that. Because that figure, oh my gosh, take note. I do not like the truck mode. The truck mode is awful. The robot mode is kind of tacky and a little cartoony, but it works. So, it's not the worst thing on the planet, but it's not the greatest. It's not the greatest Prime ever. So, we'll keep this going for another 5 minutes, and then we shall end it. So, but anyways, that being said, what movies are y'all excited for coming out? I'm personally stoked for. Actually, I'm excited and stoked for Mortal Kombat 2. I'm really excited for that. That is one movie franchise that I gotta say is one that will outlast the test of time. What is you matter, Toast? What? You've been fed, you've been watered, and now you're just being annoying. So, yes, I love you, but stop whining. Yes, I do love you. I do. So, Five Nights at Freddy's, 2 movies. I like Five Nights at Freddy's and Transformers. Those are probably my two favorite things. Well, okay. Oh, so Five Nights at Freddy's too. Okay. Sorry, I misread the answer to the question. But no, I'm excited for that one. I'm very excited for that movie. This is another one that I'm actually kind of weirdly excited for, but also I'm a little concerned for. I'm take note. The last Tron movie should have set the standards for anything CGI moving forward. Okay? Tron Legacy was a wonderful movie. Now, I don't normally support the mouse, but I can get on board with Tron Ares. Regardless of what you think about Jared Leto or Jared Peto or whatever the heck you call him, I don't care what your opinions are on him as a human being. In some areas, he's a good, not a great, not an amazing, not like I would go hire him for every role. I would say he's a good actor. Okay, he's not perfect. He's not amazing. He's just good. So, Tron 3, otherwise known as Tron Ares, that one's one I'm looking forward to. I'm also strangely looking forward to the Naked Gun. And when I say the Naked Gun, I'm not talking about the old ones from the 70s and 80s. I'm talking about the new one that stars Liam Neeson and the whole deal. I find it hilarious that Seth MacFarlane is co-producing this movie. It makes me laugh because take note, he's the guy who runs Family Guy and American Dad and has certain stakes and like stocks in Fox. So he has basically been able to do that. I think the cheapest Transformers are the blow keys for only $5. Yeah, those ones are pretty cheap. I've done a model kit before, and I'm gonna be real with you. I really don't care for them. Model kits to me are kind of dumb and a waste of time. And take note, I'm not saying this as in you have to go throw your models away or anybody who follows me has to not do model kits. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is I personally don't really care for them because they're models. I was not a big fan of Transformers Red. That honestly could have died in the first wave, and I think a lot of people would have been fine with it. And what does Transformers Red stand for? Red stands for Robot Enhanced Design, which means they were basically just going and making action figures, not figures that transformed, turned into weird things like this. This guy turns into a tank, that one turns into a car, that one turns into a spaceship, little tiny coupe. My whole thing is that when you remove the core foundations of what makes Transformers robots in disguise, that's what frustrates me. Take note, I know those model kits are amazing. I know they're amazing. I know they're amazing and I know they're great. I know what once they come out with a figure and it's all put together, it looks amazing. But I can't get on board with buying them every single time I go to the store, or I can't get on board with it every time I'm going to go do a review or a live stream or anything of that nature. So I just don't see a massive use to do that. If I do a live stream, I want to be able to transform what I've got from robot mode into its vehicle mode. And then when I do the review, we'll do the vehicle mode all the way back into the robot mode. So that's my whole gist of it. I'm just not the biggest fan of the fact that they're removing the core aspect of what makes a transformer a transformer, if you guys are picking up what I'm putting down. So anyways, we are about to end the stream here, so please do not forget to subscribe for more content. Don't forget to leave a like on this video. Now we are going to go through the entire comments list and we are going to shout out everybody that has shown up to said stream. So thank you, and don't forget to subscribe to Zaga the Animator, Devin Poon, Big Fan Transformers, Bunny Bun 5386, King Plays, Ryun E with 3 Ys. Also, do not forget to check out Andre Luis from Brazil, and do not forget to check out Corey Tucker as well, and do not forget to subscribe to also Donna Thompson and check her out as well. And I think that's just about it here. But anyways, we are going to end the stream here. And once again, let's throw a few of our other classic and goodies out there as well. Do not forget to check out Kit and Cat 999, Lemon Lime Studios. We already mentioned Zaga the Animator, but we're going to mention him one more time just because he's an OG of the channel. And we're also going to throw in Riveted Railfan, Riveted Reviews, Patrick's Voice Rail. So Patrick's Voice Rail, Alexander Rothschild, Jordy's Rail Videos, iStar552, and Take Along Productions. They've all been some OGs to the channel and some friends and family. And I am looking forward to when I get to see them again. So anyways, this is Thomas Fan 01 saying, do not forget to keep playing with your toys. Goodbye.